Islam was. This is Quality Over Quantity, and I'm your host, Samuel Monte Young-Bey. It's probably been about 2 months since I just here recently got a job. Employed with United Parcel Services, and I will be referring to them in that manner for the duration, because at one point I didn't even know what UPS stood for. And it's crazy because the homeboy that I work with, his son was like, somebody asked him where his dad worked at, and he was like, ups. It's crazy, but
I've got enough stress.
I got enough stress
On my own.
on my
Your heart rate change.
working at United Parcel Services, like I said, for about 2 months, I've had the opportunity to, enlighten and shine a little bit of light on classification and on applications. You feel me? Or contracts, because that's what they are. You know what I'm saying? But when they ask your classification on the contracts or the applications and what is the correct or the incorrect selection that should be made, you feel me? We as Moors, some of us suffering from amnesia at this present juncture, but nonetheless, we are Moors. We don't always classify under the proper classification. We don't even understand that these things, Negro, Black, Colored, African American, Native American, Mexican American, etc., etc. All of these things are statuses, not classification and or classifications in the United States Corporation of America, and the United States is a corporation. It's easily Googleable, but real talk, like, United States is a corporation, and under this corporation, these are classifications for the quote-unquote citizens of the corporate state. It is a service corporation, but I digress. So when I applied for United Parcel Services, I did apply I classified as white. And this is from myself doing the study of etymology. At one point in time, I was having problems because I didn't know whether I was going to continue rapping under the alias or the stage name Black God, because I knew that black was a classification and a status in the United States of America. They classified us as property and not human beings in flesh and blood, living and breathing with the capabilities of governing our own self and being self-governing, but those like cattle. And that's where they get the term chattel slavery from, chattel from cattle. And a little history reference will expose that, a little history reference into North American slavery will expose that, and the fact that these things are classifications. So it's just a bold statement to say that Black, Negro, and Colored, African American, etc., is not what we should be classified as, what we should sign off on documentation, especially these contracts as. But given the definition of the words, so in order for one to be white, white is considered as pure, clean, holy, etc., etc. Basically having good standing amongst the people, or amongst the nation, or amongst the governing body, or whatever the case may be, citizenry. In the United States of America, we follow the same government establishment that was laid out by the Romans. It is an hierarchy of peoples. Therefore, for example, you have upper class, high class, middle class, low class. Just that little hierarchy level right there, there are ladder levels to this, is crazy, you feel me? But that's literally how we are established and we are classified. We are even herded and housed in specific regions. We have classified regions that we are predominantly herded in and kept in those areas, secured. 9 times out of 10 surrounded by interstates, whereby I believe it's referred to as the King Alfred Act can be kick into play. And this will be having military come in and shut us down, period, lock the entire city down, or whatever, the entire region where we are located, our district. You know what I mean? You ever seen that movie, what's that movie? With Katniss Everdeen. I can't think of the name of the movie. But Mockingbird, Hummingbird, I don't know. But the girl's name in the movie was Katniss Everdeen. She had the arrows and they had the song, This Girl Is on Fire.
Continue to be you, man. Be true to who you the fuck are, man. And don't settle for less, man. No bullshit. You can't fucking make it settling for less, my nigga. You can't. You gotta fucking do what you gotta do. You gotta be you. You know what I'm saying?
You're gonna do some shit that's gonna fuck with your nerves, and you're gonna have to calm her the fuck down. Give her the special treatment then, and then walk the fuck off. Express, you can probably do sex on regularly. I understand. But they don't in this nerve game, bro. That shit becomes irregular. Speaking of irregular, about 2 weeks ago I fucked around and had sex with my wife. Shit was crazy. You got to enjoy these things. They become fairly. So when you get them, be genuinely excited about it. Have fun, bro. You might not get another shot.
Yeah. I wish I remember the name of the movie. But they had districts. And all the districts had certain types of people, groupings of people. In, what is the name of that movie? It's gonna come to me. In, what is it? Divergent, Insurgent, and I can't think of the other one. But in that movie, they had factions and different groupings of specific types of people. We have a public school system in the inner city areas, in the low-income housing areas, and we have private school systems in the middle to high class areas. You feel me? And then in the upper class, they got private tutors and what have you. You feel me? You come in and teach their children right there at the crib, but it's levels to this shit. And so our classification on applications or contracts is declaring what level you stand on. Do I have the highest upper echelon level of citizenry in the on the land, in the land, yes, in the land, or do I have the lowest to knowest level of citizenry in the land? And you have people talking to sovereign citizens and all of that. That's ridiculous. There's no such thing as a sovereign citizen, because a sovereign is native to the land, and a citizen is a member of a corporation or the governing or people can purchase their way in. They can be born in, swindle their way in. There are ways into that level, but that's not legit. The only thing that is legit is those who are born here. So let me just give you some words that will help you know why you should classify as white. One is black. The word black. When you take it back to the original meaning of the word black, it means to shine, white, flame, radiate. But we're going to look at Noah Webster's American Webster's Dictionary, 1828, volume 1. We're gonna look at some words here because Moors are American. Those peoples who are being classified as Negro, Black, and colored, African American, even Mexican American, because they are our cousins. But I was thinking about the Olmec heads. These classifications rob us of a title that should be allowed to fade into disuse. Okay, but those who go by that name, those classifications, are actually Moors. We've also been compared to and called Indians, Native Americans, and not the $5 DOS rolls Indians. Those who, during that time period, I can't remember the specific year, but they had the DOS rolls and they were giving out basically benefits and land and whatnot, basically reparations to Indians, Native Americans, because there are actual treaties and agreements with Native American tribes via the Iroquois Nation Confederation. And that was a group of Native Americans or Indians, Moors. You can even tell by looking at these Native American names. Their names were originally Moorish, are originally Moorish names. So when you look them up, and they have Moorish meaning, they have Moorish root and connection. But I digress. J.A. Rogers has a lot of material. Dr. J.A. Rogers has a lot of material on the Negro and the Indian, the American Negro and the Indian, facts about them, how they are the same people. Moors and the Indians, facts about them and how they are the same people. Dr. Jose Pimienta-Bey, he is a Moorish American, and he is an author, and he wrote a book called, what is the name of it? Othello's Children in the New World. A great book. I think that's one of the first books that I did on the literary interest as of late video, show, I guess. So that book is a good read to show the correlation between Moors and Indians and the name connections and so on and so forth. But Moors are Americans. We are the Americans in the original or aboriginal sense of the word, not to be confused with those who are naturalized. We are the only ones with the true standing in this arena or on this land. Nationalization. To be an... Get a sip. I just heard that, that peel. Man. Oh my God. It's serious though. Nationalization, to be national, to be a national, not to be nationalized, but to be a national is to be a natural, meaning you are connected to a nation. Nations are connected to bodies of land. Although they are the Manchurians, and the landmass is called Manchuria. The Japanese come from Japan. The Chinese come from China. The Koreans come from North or South Korea, and so on and so forth. Aussies come from Australia or Australians. Europeans come from Europe. Africans come from Africa. But think of nationalization. Think of that in a manner of Great Britain. You've got Ireland, Scotland, Wales. All of these things are Great Britain, even though England, you feel me, is its own entity, its own body of land mass. These other land masses with their own names connected to them, with their own peoples. If you are from Wales, then you are Welsh. And somebody that is from Wales is not going to agree to being called British because they're Welsh, they're not British. And vice versa for the Scottish or the Irish. And the list goes on. Because these people are connected to a landmass, and that is their nationality. And so, Black, Negro, colored, African American, these are made up titles to assume status, some sort of position. It is just a classification, not in this nation, in this corporation that is governing or ruling in the position of rulership within this nation. we are Aboriginal. So let me look up these words. Let me share these words because here we go. Aboriginal. Etymology. Etymology is the study of the original meaning, the origin and meaning of a word and how it has been altered over time and its connection throughout time and various languages. And that's just like a brief synopsis of what the definition of etymology is, because etymology goes even deeper than that. But, I digress. We're going to use etymology. And now the reason that I'm using Noah Webster's American Webster's Dictionary 1828, Volume 1, is because Islam. I am Sam Young-Bey, host of Literary Interests as of Late, a show I created in hope to inspire more self-study. On the show, I'll be thumbing through the pages of literary works that I have read myself in hopes that it'll give you an itch for self-exploration. So be sure to tune in on YouTube channel Water Underneath Production to gain some literary interests as of late of your own. The definitions that are used today are connotations. We use connotative definitions, which is basically that which is colloquial, that which is commonly used today. You know what I mean? At one point in time, people didn't use black in reference to people. They used it in reference to things that shine, like candles when lit. You feel me? But as time evolved, it began to be used towards people or applied to people. In the Bible, In the Old Testament, it says, our God is an awesome God. That is Aramaic or Hebrew. That word today means, I usually ask a lot of people this question just to see what's popping. But that word today has it carries the air of excitement, happiness, joy, feeling good. That's not what that word means. To be awesome or filled with awe is to command terror and fear within those in your sphere of influence. And when the Bible says that our God is an awesome God, it literally means that our God, or the all-present, all-knowing, all-powerful, creative force that governs life as we know it in existence, invokes terror and fear, or is an invoker of terror and fear, and he reigns from heaven above. That's also a song too, and people sing that song across all facets of Christendom. But I'm not going to go into that at this present juncture. Not right now. We'll do that later. That's for another That's for another time. But, so, Noah Webster's American Webster's Dictionary, 1828, Volume 1. Aboriginal is an adverb, Latin, some Latin origin, ab and origio, meaning original, or from the beginning. Ab is like from the beginning or the first, and then origio is original or origin. And then it also says to see the word origin when you go to that definition. I didn't at this point, but you know what I mean, that's something to be in your notes. First, original, primitive. Aboriginal people are the first inhabitants of a country. Aboriginal tribes of America. President Smith. Aboriginal people are the first inhabitants of a country or a land area. Okay. Aboriginal tribes of America. And that was the comment that was made by President Smith. I don't know who President Smith is at this present juncture. I'll figure that out later on through more research. But Aboriginal, noun, that was Aboriginal as in adjective. Aboriginal, noun, an original or primitive inhabitant. The first settlers in a country are called Aboriginals, as the Celts in Europe and the Indians in America. I already stated how the Indians and the Moors are one and the same. Dr. J.A. Rogers, once you look up his name, his materials will come up. And his materials are reference materials, so there will be like footnotes and cliff notes. We'll send you to other literary works to increase the bevy of knowledge that you have on the subject. Dr. Jose Pibiente-Bey, also his works are reference works, and once again you will have other materials to search through. But the thing I like about Dr. Jose Pibiente-Bey is that he opened my eyes to something. Shakespeare, when he wrote, he depicted Moors in our true authority and power, and in the light that the modern day European viewed us in at that time. The level of inferiority they felt in our presence because of our excellence on all levels. Where was that? Oh yeah, Washington said, the name American must always exalt the pride of patriotism. But let's go back to that American one more time. A native America, a native of America, originally applied to the Aboriginals. And we read what the Aboriginals was. They the first people to occupy and inhabit a country, a land, the first settlers, as were the Celts in Europe and the Indians in America. Therefore, if the Indians in America were the first to inhabit the country or the continent or the landmass which is called the Americas, then by definition of American, a native of America, originally applied to the Aboriginals. Well, who are these Aboriginals? Because they are the true Americans. They are the only true Americans. So there's some deeper understanding there. Or copper-colored races found here by the European. Whoa, that's it right there. So that says that everybody, hold on, I got the various pennies out here. Get some of these brownies out here, you feel me? Some of these copperheads, you dig? Okay. We got various copperheads here, you feel me? We have an assorted array of copperheads here on display. And I seen somebody do this, so I'm gonna see what's popping. But okay. You see that color there? Now I heard if you can just stick a coin to your third eye, then that means your pineal is open. So I've always wanted to just try that. There's another. No pressure applied, I'm just putting it on the forward, you feel me? But this is another copperhead, you feel me? Because it said the definition says the copper colored races found here by the European, you feel me? So there's a lot of them, you dig? So I just want to see what's popping with these joints, you feel me? So we are all on this copy equation, on this copy equation persuasion, you feel me? So that makes us the originals. That makes us the Aboriginals. That makes us the Americans. But it is now. See, this is why we need to always stick with the original. We can't allow words to fall into disuse, and we can't allow words in their original meanings. Not just words, but their original meanings. There needs to be a renaissance of the original meanings of words. Renaissance is a rebirth. A naissance is a birth, and a renaissance. Renaissance is a rebirth. There needs to be, or as they say in certain literary works, there must needs be. There must needs be a renaissance of the original meaning of words. The original meaning of words shine light on things. Black originally means to shine. You feel me? So it means white. The original word for black provides certain words like, and it's going to break down more specifically, but the original word for black as you break it down, because the English language comes from.
This shit is not that complicated, man. It's life. Just live it. Like real shit. Just live it, man. Alright, look. Just live it, man. Stop bullshit. This shit crazy, man. I don't even know why I be fucking with y'all for real.
Hey, you
y'all
entertain
don't.
yourself.
Y'all don't fucking listen. I told you, bro. If I was stranded on a deserted island, all I need is a fucking mirror, bro. All I need is a mirror. I'll tell you, cause I'm gonna lose my motherfucking mind. I'm gonna entertain myself. I'm never gonna lose my mind, like go crazy. I'm gonna lose my mind having fun, smiling at my motherfucking self. I don't need nothing else. I will learn how to forage, fish, and build from scratch. I actually already know how to do that shit because I watch hella videos and I practice shit. But still, you feel me? All I need is a mirror so I can connect with somebody other than myself. I will literally talk to my inner man and we will have hella conversations and life will be gorgeous. Y'all think I'm crazy? That's because I am.
Cause I just gotta be.
The English language comes from the German language. So a lot of our words have German origin in the English language. And so, but the original meaning of the word black, going all the way back to the origin of the word, of the root of the word black, you find that it means light, to shine, to radiate, flame, things of that nature. But from that word, from the German word, and even other variations of the original root word, you get words like bleach, bleak, the Spanish blanco, that means white. But Americanize is one more. That's the verb, transient verb, or the verb transient, to render American, to naturalize in America. Naturalization is to be born in the country. It's the equivalent of a European being born in South Africa and calling himself a South African, or an African for that matter. There is you look nothing like the indigenous peoples of the land who carry the name. And although you were born here, you still speak a British dialect. But that's neither here nor there. So, but that's naturalization. And it's also nationalization. You're naturally born here, but that doesn't mean this is where you descend from. That means like your ancestors weren't originally here, therefore that's not your groove. Okay, then we're gonna get to black. Black is an adverb. It's Saxon. Spelled in Saxon, it's spelled B-L-A-C, and B-L, the combination of A-E-C, black and black, belek, and that's black, pale, wan, and livid. And you also have blackin and Lakin, and that's B-L-A-C-I, A-N and B-L, A-N-E combined, C-A-N, to become pale, to turn white, to become black, to blacken. And then you have Blake, B-L-A-E combination with a C, that's ink. And then in the Swedish language or dialect, it's B-L-E-K, Blek, which is pale, wan, and livid. Then you have Blek, which is B-L-E-K, bleak, Blek, B-L-E-K, E-C-K. That's ink. And then you have bleka, which is B-L-E-K-A, to insulate, to expose to the sun, or to bleach. Also to lighten, to flash. Then in the Dutch you have bleek, which is B-L-E-E-K, which is pale. And then you have bleeken, which is B-L-E-E-K-E-N, which is to bleach. In the German, you have bleich, bleich, which is B-L-E-I-C-H, which is pale, wan, bleak. Then you have bleachen, which is B-L-E-I-C-H-E-N, to bleach. In the Danish language, you have bleek, which is a B-L-A-E combination with a K, that's ink. And you have bleeg, which is B-L-E-E-G, bleeg, which is pale, wan, bleak, sallow. And you have bleeger, B-L-E-E-G-E-R, to bleach. And the little notation added to it says, it is remarkable that black, bleak, and bleach are all radically one word. The primary sense to be pale, wan, or sallow, or probably shallow. And then the definition of the word color. Color is a verb, intrinsic. As an intrinsic verb is to blush. A dark complexion can't blush. You can't show rosy cheeks on a dark complexion. So the classification of black or African American for that matter, or any other, etc., titles is improper. It is incorrect. It is not the choice that we Moors should be making in the Americas, because we are the only Americans in the Americas, and that is North, South, and the adjoining islands. And we are the only ones with the classification to declare ourselves as white, which means full citizen, or not even full citizens, but fully entitled to all claims of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness on this continent, and in the Americas. Actually on the four corners of the world, but we're talking about the Americas. So there is nothing absolutely wrong with you classifying as white. It's actually the correct classification on your job applications. And as I said, in United Parcel Services, that is my classification presently. And it will remain thus. It will remain thus. So I will leave you with this, Moors. Declare your nationality. And even if you don't, educate yourself on who you truly are, that you may walk in the knowledge of that, and then inform yourself on civic law, because you have to study law and history together. But if you start with history just to give yourself a glimpse of yourself in it, it'll lead you to the law. And when you know the law, then you can be self-governed. Therefore, you need not be governed or enslaved to anyone. Islam. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more like it, subscribe to my channel. Let me get a like down here so YouTube will know what's going on. And hit that notification bell also. And I mean, leave a comment too. Alright?
My nigga, just keep your faith in.
Just keep your faith in. Stay a believer.
Life completely fucked. New York Stock Exchange, instantly your numbers drop. Souls that remain, depression is great. They go berserk, expecting it to stay the same, knowing that it'll never work. It's the battle of the gods when you in your world at odds.